What up, fight fans? Hold on. Sorry about that little start there. Y'all hear me loud and clear out there? Hold on. I don't got no sound in my headset. Hold on. I turned it down. Can y'all hear me? Hold up. Let me check this out. Where we at? Man, oh shit. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about that, people. Let me make sure y'all can hear me and shit. How y'all doing out there? Hold on, let me get everything right now. All right. All right. Good, y'all can hear me. All right, so what's up, fight fan? Thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Round One. Boy, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of boxing to talk about, a lot of situations been going on in the sport of boxing. We got Keyshawn Davis and against Albright and Brian Norman Jr. also on that card. There was a scare at the weigh-in. Well, I would say a bit more than a scare. 1, 2, 3 times to make the weight. We're going to talk about all that. But as you can see on the thumbnail, Jerron Boots Ennis put a lot of stock in Karen. And Karen just lost to Patty Donovan. What does that say about Jerron Boots Ennis and all the fighters that him himself said does not beat Karen? But wait a minute, Patty Donovan just beat him. So, fight fans, we're going to talk about all that and more. Please don't forget to give these videos a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's hop right into this episode. Come on, boxing fans, we got a lot to talk about here. We got a lot to talk about. Woo! Hey, Mr. Miyagi in the building. Mr. Miyagi, he says the year of the upsets. The year of the upsets. Man, I gotta tell you. Frontline, how you doing, my brother? How you doing?
What's happening?
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Them Philly fans is tight. They're using every excuse in the book. I can hear it now. You're gonna hear it from the Philly fans. They're gonna say things like, you're gonna hear things like, now Jerron Boots' resume is even as Xander's. They're gonna use things like, you can't use a triangle theory in boxing to say that this makes a victory, but you can't use a triangle theory in your excuse neither. Now, can you? The facts of the matter is this.
No, no, no,
Jerome,
no, no. Time out, time out. The most recent excuse. You ready for it?
oh, I've never, yeah.
We never said Karen was that guy.
Okay, stop. Stop right there. All right, listen, you're right about that, right? They never said that. Jerron Boots Ennis himself did. He said he was that guy. That's who said it. Not you, not the fans. We never said that. Any of you said it. So take you fans out of the equation. Because if I remember correctly, Jerron Boots Ennis himself said that. He named off countless fighters that would not beat Karen and that were not better boxers than Karen. That is one of the reasons why I was paying attention to this fight. Because to see if that Karen dude gave stock to the fighter that is Jerron Boots Ennis. Or is it, in fact, Jerron Boots Ennis, in fact, you're really not all that good. When a basic boxer nullified you. And then they say nullify. How's that possible, Edwin? Right when Karen didn't even win five rounds combined in 24 rounds of action. And what are you going to say next round one? That the scorecards didn't tell the story of the fight? No. What I'm going to say is, although every round and some rounds Jerron Boots Ennis edged out, congratulations. He didn't put on the type of performance that awards the names Phenon, better than Terrence Crawford. That's what we were talking about. If these fans stop moving the goalpost and just go by what were we actually saying? That one, Jerron Boots Ennis was better than Terrence Crawford, and that Terrence Crawford had multiple times on fighting him, and that Karen is much better of a boxer than Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, according to Jerron Boots Ennis. Well, you know what I just saw tonight? I saw Karen go down not once but twice in that fight. And no matter what the fight fans are gonna say, you know what the Jerron Boots Ennis fans are gonna say, the Philly fans, right? That was a trip. That wasn't a good knockdown. Da. Homeboy, I don't I don't want to argue your opinion. I'm just arguing what was really on paper in the fight. There was 2 knockdowns awarded in the fight. That's 2 10-8 rounds. So Jerron Boots Ennis didn't put Karen down twice. Shit, he didn't put him down once, right? Like, look, what I got. I don't think that you can judge one fight off of another. I agree. Styles make fights in these equations, and there are certain things. But what Patty Donovan did in that ring, just this, out here is only but 8 o'clock at night or so, right? But what Patty Donovan did to Karen is he did more than expose him. I saw him get Karen frustrated in there. And in the first 3 rounds, Karen had this aura about him that he was acting like Patty Donovan doesn't belong in the ring with him. He was like fighting him, right? And he was giving like Patty was Donovan started catching him, and Karen was like acting like, bro, like I gave you that type shit. He had like that look on his face. He wasn't taking Patty Donovan serious. And I felt that in the fight, right? Now, Karen started doing some good work in the fight, but the rules are the rules. You scored two knockdowns on me, and I found some of these scorecards a little up and down. One of them had it 113, if I'm not mistaken, right? But I said all of that to say this. Yo, Jerron Boots Ennis, your resume's looking bad right now. Karen just took a hit. The guy that gave you the unquote, according to like the boxing world, your toughest 2 fights. You couldn't put him away. So I think that, bro, you put a lot of stock behind Karen and the world just saw what happened. And now the Philly fans are going to try to say, oh, all these things. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to point out things about Xander. They're going to try to point about everything but what was said. It's just like that famous saying. They're saying everything but fight. They're going to say everything but what was asked. Wasn't it Jerron Boots Ennis that gave Karen that he said that he could beat Virgil Ortiz? Wasn't it Jerron Boots Ennis that said he could beat Sebastian Fundora? Wasn't it Jerron Boots Ennis that said Karen can beat Xander? Jerron Boots Ennis said these things. And that he said that Karen is a much trickier fighter. You see what fighters do to themselves? Do you see? Then their fans, you know what they're going to do, right? Oh, don't hang on to that sentence. That don't mean nothing. But had Karen went out there and starched Patty Donovan, what do you think they were going to say? We told you Karen was that dude. We told you he's tough. Look what he did to Patty Donovan. They were ready to do that. But when he loses, oh, don't worry about that. Don't mean nothing. That's what they're going to act like. But I don't care what his fans are saying. I never did in the first place. I don't take this personal. Fans are going to be fans. I'm going to commentate. Neither of us are right or wrong. right? So I don't give a fuck, right? I'm concerned what he said. What he said. And Jerron Boots Ennis right now, uh, the dude that you said that you viewed as a much trickier, tougher opponent, and that nobody's giving Karen credit. Well, here you go. What'd you do? Show me your work. Show me your work. You came back with a loss. That's your work? That's what you did? This is the guy that's going to be Virgil Ortiz. This is the guy that's going to be Sebastian Fedora. This is the guy that's going to be Xander. This is the guy that you claim is going to give all these guys tough fights, if not beat them. In Jerron Boots Ennis' story, he already had them beating him, but I'm trying to lighten up a little because that's Philly's own Jerron Boots Ennis right there. I like Jerron Boots Ennis, but we're at a crossroads. We're at a crossroads. I talked about this. We're at a crossroads, man. And we got to pick our side of the street. And I'm going rock with the flag, baby. I want legacy. I want history, and I want Xander to be the one to do it. So in order to do that, well, Jerron Boots Ennis, unfortunately, we're gonna have to run that ass over. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
But listen, to Philly, much love to you guys. This is no shots at Jerron Boots Ennis. I'm trying to sell the fight and build a fight just as much as you guys are trying to build it. Don't take any of this shit personal. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing like that. I got love for Philly. I got love for Jerron Boots Ennis. You know, I'm just trying to build the moment. That's
It's
my
just shit talk 101.
that's what
That's
I
all it
want.
is.
That's what I want because I want more people to tune in so that the world knows Jerron Boots Ennis and Xander. Shit, Xander was in the Super Bowl. Was Jerron Boots Ennis? No. But now he's fighting the guy that was in the Super Bowl. Keep Jerron Boots Ennis' name up. And if you ever want to get him to that star status, well, one way he can start, he beat Xander. And then all the body goes, hey, round one, you were wrong, right? Boots is the shit. But what did that do? Doesn't that boost up Jerron Boots Ennis? Doesn't that bring up his value? For as many people gonna say that I'm wrong, it's also helping Boots. So don't ever take anything personal. Don't get butthurt on it. You know what I'm saying? After this fight, much more boxing. Just keep that in mind. You feel me? Listen, we just picking fighters here, baby. And sometimes fans can get personal, passionate. You know what I mean? And I just want you to know, you might have never actually met Jerron Boots Ennis. So don't crash out for somebody you never actually met. Keep in your head. But other than that, boxing shit talking, yo, read the chat, frontline.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Itachi in the building. He says Karen lost to a bum. Crying emoji. Mr. Miyagi, salute. Mr. Itachi says, but these Boots fans were saying everyone else was avoiding Karen. Mr. Itachi says hit the like button. Was good frontline. Car Cam says I hear ya. Miyagi says, damn. Did I miss the fight? I thought it was tomorrow. Nah, you missed it. It was today.
Just finished.
Mr. Itachi says Richard Torres too. Shout out to Carlos Navedo. He says round one sports talk. Fire emoji, Puerto Rican flag, boxing glove, strong arm.
Let's go.
This year, this no, the year of upsets. I'm telling you, says Mr. Miyagi. Jose Rodriguez in the building. He says, what up, round one, frontline,
Yeah.
salute broski. Mr. Tachi says, I heard Boots fans saying Karen would beat Madrimov. Mr. Tachi also says, and that Karen would give Virgil problems. Jose says Boots' resume is getting worse by the minute. Mr. Tachi says, nah, some of them are saying Karen was avoided. Shout out to Bull Rider in the building. He said, what up, round one? What up, frontline? Miyagi says, "Damn, Patty really doing all that." Jose says, "Nah, I heard a lot of fans saying Karen wouldn't beat Devin." Mr. Miyagi says, "There's only a few fighters where triangle theory works: Usyk, Crawford, Inoue." That's Booth's best win, by the way, says Mr. Itachi. Mr. Miyagi says, "Watch Brian Norman Jr. lose tomorrow. Patty beat Karen, and I don't think Patty is all that," says Jose. TJR in the building. Salute. Beer chucking jugs and the Canada flag.
Mm.
Jose says, "Boots not looking too smart right now." Mr. Miyagi says, "Just watching it now. Damn, Karen lost," says Mr. T. Uh, was it UD or KO? It was a majority decision.
Oh, with the Karen thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Karen lost by majority.
yeah. Those scorecards were kind of like iffy, with them
Bro,
2 8 round knockdowns, and
crazy.
I thought that Patty Donovan won some of those rounds in between, bro. Like when I remember talking to you about it, we were watching the fight, and it was like round 2, and you asked me, "Yo, round 1, what you think it is?" And I was like, "It's 1-1."
Yep.
And we both, and that was just in the second round. So I know he was winning some rounds plus 10-8 rounds. But we seen in a previous fight, haven't we? When Virgil got dropped twice and won the fight.
Yeah, that was against Madrimov, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, okay. But what I'm saying, he got dropped twice in the fight and won the fight. So if
Yeah,
Karen was winning like that, if Karen was winning way more rounds than these fans are claiming, he had an opportunity to also win the fight. He
right.
wasn't. He got the 2 rounds, 10-8 rounds, and that's bad. That other one, okay, it was looked like a trip and whatever. I mean, with the glove when he went down and he pushed him with his hand
That
back.
was a push. That was a
Yeah,
push.
yeah, okay, I get it. I get
I
it.
don't give a fuck. It counted as a 10-8. That's
But
all
it
I care
still
about.
counted. So in the back of your mind, you had to sell out because you knew your situation. And if he was doing much more technical boxing, like the people claim, there was a situation where he could have won the rest of the remaining of those rounds and in between and showed his dominance, like
Hey, and not to
Virgil did.
mention, in between some of those rounds, um, Donovan caught Karen a couple times
Oh,
that
more than a
stumbled him.
couple. More than a couple.
More
More
than, yeah,
than a.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He was timing them good. He was laying on the ropes a lot, trying to fight off the back foot and counter Karen. He had Karen Kikuchi, which I try to say his name, frustrated. He had him frustrated, right? You could see it in his face. But Karen started hitting Padley with some good shots. Padley made adjustments in the fight. You saw when he got hit with those shots, the position he was in when he tried to do that Philly shell bullshit, right? And he tried to do like that George Foreman type guard. And you saw when he got caught, he even noticed what he did wrong in those exchanges. So shout out to Patty Donovan, man, that he really held up in this fight. He called out Lewis Crocker, which many of us thinks that, the first fight he might have won, whatever, and then Crocker might have won the second, whatever. However you feel, and the disqualification fight, the first one, whatever. So he thinks that he should get. Now, I'm a bit confused if anybody in the chat can help me out with this one. Was that for the full status of the title? What were they saying there after the fight?
I think that was for the IBF.
But they
But
didn't have the belt. Where was the
no,
belt?
but what's also confusing, they said it was for the IBF, but what's also confusing is they had a WBO ref in there. So I'm confused just as much as you are. Yo, shout out to Boxing and Rap in the building.
I don't know.
Uh TJR says, any fights tonight? What y'all watching? Nah, tomorrow. Big day
Nah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow we're gonna be leading into that conversation. We got a heavyweight fight, right? We got the big boys fighting. Then we got, of course, the Keyshawn Davis, Albright situation, Brian Norman Jr. Now, I haven't taken to social media. I haven't had the time between my life and covering boxing and, everything. I haven't had the time to see if Brian Norman Jr. Sr. took to social media. I thought that he would run to the Mill City real quick and shit because his son also had missed weight on his first attempt, Brian Norman Jr. And, with his dad, he didn't miss weight. He leaves his dad, goes with Shields, and he's missing weight now. Like, is that where we're going, son? Like, you leave me, and now you're supposed to have done better, but you're missing weight. And what a bad look. Keyshawn Davis himself, the main event, he ends up missing weight. Not once, but twice.
No, twice. He made it on the third.
Yes, not once, but twice. So, and then all of a sudden, they gave him the third opportunity. He corrects the mistake. Now, before a lot of you guys come up here and start saying Ryan Garcia fucked up boxing and that he made it a fad to miss weight type thing, let me tell you something what you're not thinking about. What you're not thinking about are the promoters that are putting up the money. And usually a boxing match is really catered around the main event. Your common, typical boxing match, not Turkey Al Sheikh. And when you got that and you got you're the main event and you're missing weight, not once, but twice, they're not going to want to fuck with you. They can't rely on the fact that Keyshawn Davis, you're not claiming what you said you are, a businessman. Keyshawn the businessman. You're failing. And if he would have made weight, if he wouldn't have went back and drained himself on that third attempt, remember, they gave him that opportunity to do that against Edwin De Los Santos. Guess what Keyshawn chose not to do? Drain himself. What do you think he had to do in this time? That's called being unprofessional. And some of these guys, wait a minute. Some of these guys, like Keyshawn Davis, is trying to take this and use it like a gimmick to take the spotlight off the fact that they're not disciplined. Keyshawn tried to say like, I missed weight, I sacrificed the belt, and Edwin ran. No. You were undisciplined. You became a new champion. You went on a hiatus. You went party too much, got some more chains. And when you got back to camp late. You were undisciplined. Now, Brian Norman Jr.'s situation, that was a bit alarming. I didn't see that coming. And then when you say about Keyshawn Davis, he missing weight. Well, how you missing weight in a division you just got to? You only had one fight in this division. How could you be too big for the division? So how much weight were you actually cutting, weight bully? If some of the truth is coming out in the laundry. How much weight are these guys cutting? Just big guys getting in there trying to fight little dudes that are naturally in that weight division, that are doing the right thing, making the traditional 8-10 pound weight cut? How much are you cutting? 28 pounds? That you're already at 140 and you can't make the weight. Or what is it? Are you falling back into your old ways, Keyshawn Davis? Are you the type of fighter that I've seen many times in gyms? Very gifted, very talented. And because you're talented and gifted, you could always take a month or two off, walk into the gym without warming up, and go in there and whoop everybody's ass in the gym. I've seen you kind of guys before. You guys become lazy, complacent, and you rely too much on your talent rather than sharpening what you already have and becoming one of the greats. Keyshawn Davis, you're a very talented fighter, but your priorities seem to be fucked up. What the hell is this pool of crap you're in? Is that supposed to be something like cleansing? What are you showing? Whatever you did obviously didn't work. Whatever shortcuts you're doing, you're not doing what you need to be. And you're definitely not the businessman as you advertise yourself to be. That this is embarrassing for boxing. Where that the main event and the co-main event both miss weight. Usually you have a co-main event to save that main event just in case anything happens. Just like in the case with Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason. Keyshawn Davis fumbled the ball. Who came up to pick up the bag? Abdullah Mason. Who became champion? Abdullah Mason. Where's Abdullah Mason headed? Where Keyshawn Davis should have been. So now you got another chance with the same fighter. How embarrassing that your backup also failed. Now, they both, rebound. Both of them rebound. Yes. Both got up there, replant. Why you think they did that? Why you think they did that? Because they would have been shelved. Both of them missed weight. The next time you would have seen them fight would have been Alaska. So dress warm. That's the next time you would have seen them boys fight. Nobody's gonna want to believe in them.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to TD in the building. Um, that's TD Sports Talks. Yo, y'all like boxing content and shit? Go check them out. Bodie from the Bronx. Miyagi says, "Yo, they using ref POV cams now." Yes, we're gonna
Yo,
get
you
onto
seen
that.
that? You
That
seen
shit is
that?
dope. Dave's real. What up? He says, "Boots down bad." Abbas knocked down Tellez. Miyagi said it was an elimination. It was an IBF eliminator. I think
IBF Eliminator?
yeah, I think did some good work in the late rounds, but a little too late. Oh, he's saying that he thinks Karen did some good work in the late rounds, but it was a little too late. Karen beats Fandora, Ortiz, and Zayas, according to Boots. Laughing emoji says Dave. Mr. T says Milk City Boxing is a rest haven for boxing dads. All of them go over there. Crying
Mm-mm.
emoji.
Mm-mm-mm.
TD says, I believe Karen and Donovan was an IBF eliminator. Donovan can fight the winner of Crocker and Parrow now. Norman Jr., Norman Sr. will be at the fight tomorrow. He had a graduation to attend to today, so he couldn't make the press conference and weigh ins. Jose says, I think Karen did some good work in the late rounds, but a little too late. You're fucking up the money, says Mr. T, the bad businessman. TJR says, "What's up with this team boxing? Y'all watch this, checking it out." Um, I'm a fan of the New York team only because of Taz and Brian Polacos over there. My two buddies. But yeah, I be checking it out every now and then. No, not a big fan of it. It's only one round. There's like 24 rounds as the team goes through with it. I don't really understand it, so I don't watch it as much. Miyagi says, I'm going for all upsets tomorrow. Allen win, Albright win, and Brian Norman to lose. I'm
Uh,
telling you, a lot of fighters would be getting whooped if they started closer to their weights.
yeah.
Mr. T says, in his hometown, where he previously fucked them over by missing weight and then
Yep.
showed up to the fight giggling and eating popcorn.
Yep.
Keyshawn ain't no Keyshawn ain't got no discipline, says Jose. Dave says, I hope this guy whoops Keyshawn. TJR says, Keyshawn going to Sufa. Question? LOL. Mason is a great talent and disciplined, says Dave. Like Kitchen, says TJR. Mac Majestic says, salute. Work hard, chill in the building. He says, Keyshawn is a character, too much talking.
Mm,
TD says, Team Combat League is kind of fun. Pete Dobson is going to get the upset win tomorrow. He is Puerto Rican from the Bronx. Yeah, Pistol Pete is half Jamaican and half Puerto Rican. Yeah,
yeah.
he gonna whoop Calvin ass.
Yo, we about to find out. Hey, yo, if you're just tuning in, man, hit that like button. I gotta apologize for not telling you how fire the show is. It's kind of like this. I'm gonna show you right now. Hold on. Let's see.
I wonder what Arsenio's doing right now. He probably at a wine and cheese party. Damn, there's some good ass cheese. They don't tell him how good the cheese is, he'll be mad. I couldn't even tell me how good the cheese was. Motherfucker, good ass cheese, nigga. You looking at? I was surprised you ain't flipping motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.
Is it talking, Edwin? Because if it's
Yeah, yeah,
talking,
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you can hear it on the channel though. You can
oh,
hear
okay.
it. You can hear it over there. Yo, that's how the show is. That's how Round One Sports Talk is. You know, you should have told me how good the show is. Yo, why didn't you tell me how fire the show is? Like, yo,
Yo,
yo.
atheist in the building. Atheist says, did we question Dev's resume when Campbell lost his next 5 fights after Dev went 24 rounds with him? Question, laughing emoji.
Yeah. Well, look, man. The problem is that sometimes, right? Well, not sometimes. The most of the times we hold these fighters to what they say. You feel me? And, you know, I'm not the one that came out and said I got a list and I'm fighting all the fighters on the list and end up fighting everybody else but anybody that you named on the list. I remember when fighters come out and do this, but we're the assholes for reminding them for what they said. I didn't put a gun to fucking Jerron Boots Ennis' head and say, yo, Jerron, go out there and say this about Karen. I didn't say that. He did. Now, round one is the asshole. For what? Bro, you said this shit. You said he would go Tommy Dame with Virgil Ortiz. You said he would go Tommy Dame with all these guys, and that Karen was this, that, and a great fighter, and these guys are underestimate him, and you guys don't know what it is to go 24 rounds with him. I didn't say that. He did. And then, but now we assholes for what'd you say? And what did he do? You know what I mean? So it's like, so some of these fighters do these things to themselves, and the criticism is all doing part to themselves. And I get it. You know, some of these fighters are fed up with not getting credit for certain things, and being a fighter is tough. It's tough because you're damn if you do and you damn if you don't, right? Jerron Boots Ennis goes out there, starches the dude in the first round, and all of a sudden, that guy sucked. That guy was undefeated. As a matter of fact, Lima came off fighting 3 undefeated back-to-back fighters coming into the fight with Jerron Boots Ennis. He beat 3 undefeated fighters heading into Jerron Ennis fight. Ennis dusts him off in 1 round. So now it's Jerron Boots Ennis' fault for being too good. For being too good. That's what they're going to criticize him for. This is the sport of boxing. Sometimes you are damned if you do, you are damned if you don't. And fight fans are never pleased until you give them what they want. Don't you see they jonesing for blood, knockout? They want to see another person get knocked the fuck out. And hopefully it's their guy that's doing it. Fight fans. Some of us like it for the sweet science. And some of us like it for legacy. We respect and value a champion.
You're missing a belt up there, Edwin.
A belt, the super belt, it's not going up there. It's not happening. All
Let me
right?
see it though.
No,
Show,
no,
show,
no, 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 no. I'm getting a lot of shit behind that right now. Okay. I think Turkey might be putting on a, you know what I'm saying? On your boy.
Hey yo, but just show it one time, just a quick
No,
glance.
I'm tripping. I think I put it away. I would have grabbed it, but you're gonna make me get up and grab it. I was trying to
Of
make an
course,
excuse.
I'm making grab it. I'll read
Oh
the
my
chat.
god, it's all the way on the other side of the room. You know what I'm
Got it,
saying?
got it. You got it. You can do it.
Yo, I
You
gotta
can
pass.
do it.
Brady's over there in the corner. He looked like he pumped
Yo,
fading.
you
Brady.
can do it.
Oh my god, here we go.
Richard, saludo. He says, me voy con el mío por pelea, puñeta, por pela. Work Hard Chill says it seems as if a lot of boxing watchers don't rock with
Hey, yo,
Keyshawn.
I heard Devin Haney going over there, bro. He might be able to fight for this belt right here. You know what I'm
Let me see
saying?
the belt. Let me see.
Let
Let me
me
see the
see.
belt. Let me see the belt. Let me see the
Hey,
belt.
yo, when the
Yo, the
super world
prestigious.
champion, when the super world champion walk in the building, y'all stand up. Show some motherfucking respect. But goddamn, I'm camp champion of the world. Yo,
Hey,
show some,
how
huh?
can you obtain? How can you obtain that belt? Who you got to
Listen,
fight?
listen. This is prestigious right here, Zuffa belt right here. It's a very, very popular belt. Okay. Of course, we are sponsored by Campbell's, tomatoes. You know, tomato cans, you fight tomato cans, tuna cans. You gotta fight tuna cans. You know what I'm saying? To earn this hubcap right here, baby. Baby, let me tell you something right now. This belt has more legacy and more history. Okay? What? Why are you laughing? Stop laughing at the super chat. Why are you laughing, damn it? This is a very prestigious belt. I fought top shelf tomato cans to get the audacity of you laughing at me. Listen,
Yeah.
listen, dog, this is a real hubcap right here, all right? You know what I'm saying? Okay? Fucking prestigious as all hell. You know? No, my man, that's legacy. That's fucking history. These are real champions. Sufa, you're gonna have to establish yourself before you start saying your belt is better than our belt on week one. Not gonna happen. Jayo Pataya is your first champion. He went 12 rounds. You're not looking good. You're not looking good. Nah, not when Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd, Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez, Sugar Ray Leonard, the Marvelous One. Not when they brought us legacy and fucking, get out of here, Sufa. Y'all crazy. But listen, I respect Sufa. Never tell you not to watch their fights because I'm going to be covering them. I just think that sometimes you can put the cart before the horse. I think that Sufa, you got to establish yourselves as champions. You got to get your first champions. And I always said this. I said that rather than Zufa going out and trying to get our champions that are already established while saying that these belts ain't shit, right? They're saying these belts ain't shit, but let me hire Devin Haney. Ain't you the people that said Devin Haney is Tom and Jerry? So why are you trying to go after Tom and Jerry? Why are you trying to go after Shakur? Why are you going after Teal? Why did you get Richard Hitchens? Because you know that those are the top American fighters. And you know that they're good. But you're going to tell us that they're not. As soon as they get in Sufa, guess what? They're the best thing since sliced bread. And they always have been. It's what they're going to tell you next. Because now they acquired their services. See how dirty the boxing game is? And I've always said this and I'll continue to say it. I support boxing. And I support Sufa. But Sufa, you're going to have to show me that you're the entity you're claiming to be. Don't tell me about it. Show me. Are you here for the boxers? Are you here to change boxing? Or are you just another boxing promoter lining your pocket off the blood, sweat, and tears off these fighters? Well, you're just no different than the promoters we have today. If you're boxing savior, if you're going to change boxing, well, then install real change. Not changing contracts, not changing uniforms, not changing pay. That's not changing boxing. What are you doing for the longevity of a fighter? What happens to Zuffa fighters when they retire? Do you have a pension plan for them? Are you taking care of them after fighting? Are you changing boxing rules so boxing matches can be more on the up and up? What actually are you doing for boxing? And before fighting fans get all crazy and say just because you're not paying sanctioning fees. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're just calling it something else. You win a Sufa belt, you don't pay sanctioning fee for it, but you can't get sponsorships and they own all your rights, the pay-per-view rights, everything. In Sufa, they pay you like a job. Sufa the model is a business model. They pay you for your services. You're not in. It's above your pay grade to come in the room with the streaming network money, the pay-per-view money. You don't get none of that. But in boxing, if I pay my sanctioning fee, I'm entitled to all of that. So although you could dress it up for me and say I'm not paying sanctioning fees, shit, I'm paying triple. I might be paying quadruple. Because there's no telling who's going to be the next Ryan Garcia. What if they get a kid and he blows up early, but he's locked in through a 3-fight deal that Dana White never lets his fighters out of? When have you heard Dana White ever let a fighter out of UFC and they just signed a 3-fight deal? Francis Ngannou, a lot of these fighters talked about it. It's like hell getting out of that deal. You got to give them money to get out type shit. And so you're never getting out of these deals. He's requiring your services and he's saying, I will pay you a salary. Like if you're at work, I'm going to keep you working. You're going to be happy because in boxing, you didn't know when your next fight was when you got out the ring. But in Sufa, we're going to keep y'all working. And I guess that's good for the man that's lining up his pocket without taking one punch to the face. But that's our savior. It's our savior because he gets little uniforms. He dresses it up like this. But have you ever asked yourself, what change is he making in boxing besides taking away the Muhammad Ali Act that was put in place to protect the boxers? So what change are you really making? I'm just a bit more reserved. And I said, well, let's see Zuffa play out one full calendar year. Let's see what happens. Let's see if those same fighters are still happy. Talk to me then. That's how I feel about that. Until then, I will continue to watch Zuffa closely. I would like to see their product. I want to see what they're talking about. How are they boxing savior? Or are you just another promoter lining your pockets? That's what I need to know.
Mac Majestic says that's the belt they get when they lose. LOL. Lois says Edwin would fight for that Sufa belt if the price is right. He's capping.
What you mean? Of course I would fight for that super belt. Are you crazy? Yo, I would fight for that super belt because of the fact that, listen, I didn't have a history in pro boxing. I wasn't an established champion. You gave me fucking a shot at that super belt. You're fucking right. I'll win that belt and fucking rub it in fucking Africa's face. Nah. Yo, listen, I'll think I'm the man. I'll lose my mind. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, Sufa, unfortunately, your belt doesn't have no legacy. It doesn't have any history. You can't look back in the Sufa archives and say, remember when this guy fought for this guy and he knocked him out? There is none of that. This Ali had this belt. Okay? Floyd, Mike Tyson, I'm fucking Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Hagler. You can look back at moments. What were they fighting for? The right to be called champion. When they want to tell you that belts don't matter, that's so much bullshit. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that separates you from a regular boxer. If you don't have a belt, you're just good. You're just Jerron Boots Ennis right now. You have no belts. You just got a name. You might have been a former world champion, but that's what gives you credibility. What? Because you won 2 belts in another weight division. That's what gives him his status now, doesn't it? So the belts separate you from regular boxers. It means you're the champion. Belts is everything. And what made those legendary matches, let me tell you something right now. If belts ain't nothing and it's all about money, tell me how many more years you think they'll ever bring up. In 3 more years, you'll never hear that Chris Eubank and Conor Benn double fight again. They won't talk about that fight because there was nothing on the line. The only time you talk about fights and memorable moments is when one guy upset at the other guy for what? The world championship. Or when one guy retained the what? The world championship. And what did he do in a world championship fight? Belts are everything, my man. They are everything. And in order to take that super belt and convince me that that actually means anything, brother, you would have to put some history behind that. What do you got? Just what you're saying? Just a bald-headed white dude running up there. Yo, this is the best belt in the world with the ring and F the regular alphabet boys because I said so. Dana White, baby. Ugh. Sorry, bro. Sorry. You said nothing. That belt ain't. You can't do that. You can't convince me that even that belt belongs in the same ring with these belts. It's just not honorable. For that, you might as well let in the fucking North Korea Japanese fucking champion of the world and bring his belt into the ring with our belts. Why you think they don't let the French champion of the world's belt go in the ring with us? All those UK belts, why don't they bring them to the ring ever? Why didn't Ricky Hatton bring that shit to the ring? Because this is what counts, bro. And you can't let these other belts in the ring with your belt. The moment you do that, you give life to that other belt. They haven't earned that. Shit, you gonna sit here and tell me that that super belt is better than the IBO? Fuck no. The IBO belt got champions, bro. They getting history. They've been out here in these boxing streets. The IBO's been putting in their time, they work. Yo, I'm starting to look at that belt like a real belt. They need to just like recognize the IBO and be a 5-belt weight division. But yo, Zuffa, you're not gonna jump in front of the IBO. All the years and champions they put. Come on, man. Are you crazy? No. I'm sorry.
You sound like Kevin Hart.
Money's not gonna do that. Nah,
No,
Turkey.
no,
Nah, I
no.
don't care how much money you got and who you got to promote that. Nah, bro, what's right is right. That belt got no history, no legacy, no champions. The only
Yeah.
champion you got is Jail
And
Pataya. That's it.
he got stripped for the IBF
You
for
ain't
trying to
got
put it
shit.
next to the Sufa belt.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Yo,
Nah.
Thomas says, I like Sufa. I think it's good for boxing, right? I say give them a chance, even though I
Yeah,
don't trust Dana.
give him a chance. Yeah. I'm optimistic, man. I'm on the point where let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But not just. I'm not jumping out the window yet. You know. So go ahead, free to reading chats.
TJ says, Sufa, Netflix, fire. Sufa, Paramount, mid. Takeover says, you get to fight opponents with 6 wins and 36 losses for the Sufa belt. TJR says, I'm old. I grew up in the 90s boxing. Thomas says, Frontline, I forgot to talk about Sergio Mora today. He's a piece of shit who hates Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. I can't stand him.
What the who
Uh,
that? I don't know.
Sergio Mora.
Yeah,
He's the announcer on the zone.
we know.
Oh,
I just don't want to go down that fucking road. Go ahead, go.
preguntas, Edwin and Fortney. I don't know. That's Richard. Richard, pregunta otra vez, papi, que no la entendí. Dana, the new Don King, LOL, says TJR. Nas says, you act like Bob Arum, Al Heyman, and Eddie Hearn are angels. Crying emoji.
No,
We
of
know
course
they're
not.
not angels, but
Wait.
you got this?
Right. Listen. They're not angels, but if you're the same thing as that, dressing up to be our savior, then you're no better than them, is what I'm saying. If they're no angels and they've been around Bob Arum, Ed Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, and the list goes on, and they never fix boxing, and you come into boxing, my question is, are you just here to line your pocket just like the rest of them? And all you did was bring us new uniforms, a little bit of structure. You're just like them. You didn't actually fix boxing. You did nothing but set boxing in a way that it profits you by controlling all the boxers' rights, network rights, and pay-per-view rights. And then you went and hired our stars that were already established in boxing to kick off your brand, but saying that you started from nothing while using our guys. It's not like you went out there in day one and found your own Abdullah Mason. You found your own Emmanuel Vargas, your own Camille Moten. No, you
Emiliano.
you went and got Emiliano. I'm sorry, you went and got our guys to say that your brand is the best with the guys we already know. See, you're pissing down our back and saying it's raining. That's what I'm saying with Sufa. If you're so much on the gun ho that they are our savior, then please point out, what are they saving? Are they just making boxing more beneficial for profit on their end? Well, you're no different than what we already have. You're just another wolf. Prove to us that you're changing boxing. Real change. Structure. Not just talk about it and throw a bunch of money around buying our guys. Just open your eyes a little bit.
Work
Go
hard,
ahead.
chill says round one. I went to sue for 6. It was epic. What's the complaint? It's boxing. Bull Rider says round one speaks the truth. Richard says, pregunta, Edwin, frontline. Si Subriel sube a la 47, ¿quiénes son los campeones en la 47? So 47, we got Devin Haney. Um, who else is a champion at 40? Ryan Garcia,
And Rolly.
Rowley, and then Lewis Crocker.
Yeah.
Esos son los cuatro, Richard. TJR says 80s, 90s, they fought for legacy. Facts. Takeover said, did you hear that Boots wanted to fight Conor Ben? He would have stayed at 47 to fight him. Sufa's paper champ says Jose. Bull Rider says, did Keyshawn go to the back and take a laxative to make weight? Question.
Well,
Um,
he only had to cut point
point
one,
two,
point
point
one,
two.
point two, like that. Well, when he took off his underwear, it came back point one. So he was 40.1 when he went the second attempt. The first attempt was point two.
Right.
So basically, what he had to do was go back there and get in the sauna or get on the bike for like an hour or something. It was gonna be fast. He just had to build up a sweat real quick, but he looked miserable. He looked miserable. Cutting weight, for a fight twice. Um, that's tough. That's tough. But Keyshawn's young still. Brian Norman Jr. is still young too. Shocking though. With these guys, I hope it really lights a fire under their ass and they get more serious with it. As far as the fight goes, I think that a lot of people, my personal opinion about the matchup, I think that a lot of people putting a lot of stock in the fact that Albright stung Keyshawn Davis. You understand? I don't think he hurt him. I think he stunned him. But I think that Keyshawn Davis is I think he's a better boxer, better fighter. He better be careful with Albright though, because I can admit Albright, he can lull you to sleep kind of with the sense that he doesn't want to pull the trigger. Then all of a sudden he pulls that trigger and he catches you. You know, he did good with the Frank the Ghost Martin situation and the way that it came out. He did a lot better than I thought. So yeah, Keyshawn just needs to be alert with a tricky fighter and not fall asleep behind the wheel. Stay the course. Don't get too overconfident in the fight, too cocky. Albright can surprise you. That's my opinion.
Mac Majestic says, I'm excited about Sufa. They got a lot going on in boxing and more to come. It gives more to the sport. Takeover says, Zayas be calling out Fandora, Ortiz, Boots, Bakram, and Kelly after fighting Chino and showing up to the boss fight to challenge the winner.
And taking the Jerron Boots Ennis fight. He's all about the smoke. That's a
Yep.
young man that's running towards the smoke. And
Allen
then and
says
then they want to say he's the weakest link. Shut the hell up.
Allen says Styles makes fights. Just because Karen lost don't mean a thing. LOL.
Oh, well, you know what it does mean? It means that he wasn't the man Jerron Boots Ennis claimed him out to be. I don't think that Karen beats Virgil like that, like Jerron Boots Ennis was claiming. I don't think Karen beats any of the guys that Jerron Boots Ennis said. And I think that it diminishes in some fighting fans. Now, whether or not, because listen, styles make fights. And I guess for Jerron Boots Ennis style, it was a tricky fight. So, okay. But the casuals don't want to hear that. The casuals are saying, yo, what the fuck is this? Jerron, the casuals are saying, oh, guess what? I don't think he's that good. Right? Because of what these fighters say and claim. You feel me? So now I think a lot of Xander Zayas' fans were watching this fight carefully. They wanted to see what gave Jerron Boots Ennis so much trouble, in a sense, because he couldn't finish him not once but twice, which we thought this was a guy that shouldn't have been on your level if you're Jerron Boots Ennis. If you're talking about Jerron Boots Ennis, the Phenon, well, then who the hell was Karen? So you didn't get one crack, you got two. Same outcome, same situation, basically. A little bit better ass whooping in the second one, right? So Xander Zayas' fans were watching, and he loses? What do you think that did for the Xander fans?
Hyped us up big time.
Come on, bro. The dude that gave you the most problems just got scraped.
No. Stop. Not the guy that gave you the most problems. The guy that you said can beat Fundura, can beat Ortiz, can beat Zayas, can beat Baruch easy. Because he's that guy.
He what he say? I think the 54 is the new 47. What?
He said, what's your favorite division now? I think 54 is the new 47. Thomas says, yep. Boots said Karen beat a few guys. Richard says, si son esos cuatro, Suriel Matías se los papea a los cuatro. Max says, neither Key or Brian Norman Jr. looked drained to me. I think the whole weight thing was all for promo. Shout out to Tua in the building. He says,
there's no way in reality that you think that could actually be for promo. There's you would have whose decision would have been his managers, his promoters, or Keyshawn's, because if Keyshawn makes the decisions, the promoters are shocked. That means that they would have to have been in cahoots, that they're telling their fighter to mysteriously almost come up miss weight so that you can get controversy, rather than going up there one time, making weight, and being viewed as a professional. So you
hey,
think
real
wait,
quick,
wait. Let me get this thought out. So you think that to be a professional is to give the image that you're not one, and that was your promo. That your promo was putting more dirt on the fact that we criticized you for missing weight and losing your belt on the scale. Because nobody beat you in the ring for that belt, Keyshawn. You see, this is where fans got to stop that. You're thinking too much for these fighters like they're that smart. No. He missed weight because he missed weight. Period. End of discussion. That man wouldn't have took off his underwear, went back there and cut that little bit of weight and came back if he was trying to make weight. You would do that one time so that you don't have to put your body through that. You mean that your promo was to put your fighter through another weight cut? That was your idea.
Well, Ronnie
Whoever
Shields,
thought of an idea like that needs to be fired if that you think that actually has any truth. Because you're hurting my fighter. There's no sense to play around with weight cutting. No fighter wants to weight cut. Get it over in one shot and we done with it. That way I can start replenishing, eating. I want to eat. Keyshawn missed weight. He could not eat for another few hours until he cut that weight. He's miserable. That idea, the notion that you're using that that's hogwash. That's total bullshit. There's no way on God's green earth I would ever think that someone would come up with that plan and feed it to the fighter. He's going to have to cut more weight. That's crazy talk.
Yo, Ronnie Shields came out publicly and said that the scales were off. That's why Keyshawn didn't make weight, or Brian Norman Jr. I mean,
something was wrong.
But whatever. Stock Chaser in the building. He said, "Yo, round one, what I said." Mio in the building. He said, "You bet Zaya's team have studied the footprint." That's bad promo. Says Takeover. Mio said, "Indeed. If you look at Zaya's opponents, they magically fit perfect for preparation for a fight like this." Jose says, "You don't get no promo by missing weight. That doesn't sound too smart." Bro, that's not a plan, says Stock Chaser.
It's not a plan, bro. That's not a plan.
George Martinez in the building. He said, "What up, round one, frontline chat." Max says, "It don't take them a few hours. A lot of times they don't make weight the first time." Stock Chaser says, "Patty Donovan, baby." TJ says, "I see Boots training with Bam." Question. Yo, let's get into this card.
Hey, yo, man, listen. Hold up.
Wait. Like my story? No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it, so you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Yo, listen. Some people, they
90% bullshit.
Listen. Entertain me with your bullshit and your excuses. Then you know what I'm saying? Because look, man. Patty Donovan did his thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. We were talking about it leading into the fight. A lot of people thought that Karen was supposed to wipe this dude down, bro. He's supposed to wipe this dude down. He went in there, what I feel was a pretty big upset. It really was. It wasn't as big as David Morales, but it's a nice upset for the year. We're talking about, like Mr. Miyagi said, year of the upsets. There have been some kind of big fights here. And we just saw fucking Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois fight. And Daniel Dubois came back in that fight from being down twice in fact, and legitimately knockdowns. Like, not no trip. Like, legitimate, boom, down. Like, so, yeah, there's been some pretty decent fights so far this year, man. And, we saw that Zuldo got an ass whooping in a boxing lesson taught by the Mexican monster, David the Monster Benavidez. And rightfully so, he earned that name, the Monster. Man, any guy that can go up 25 pounds, and he didn't replenish too much. Zuldo cut weight for that fight and came in a lot bigger on fight night. And David the Monster Benavidez tamed that ass. He showed that he is a real puncher. He has real skills, and David, it was the common like boxing, thing where the little guy came up and was much faster than the big guy, but he made the weight and he could hold it like the Evander Holyfields of the world, like the Uziks, not that big for the men in their era, When in boxing, heavyweight boxing right now, we have some giants, 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", you know? And Usyk at a 6'4", barely 6'5", he's considered little. But what I think makes Usyk very special is the fact that he was a cruiserweight, where he fought in a lighter division where the fighting was a much faster, much faster. And I think that that helped David the Monster Benavidez against Zuldo. He was too fast for Zuldo. Zuldo was standing there and trying to, and then not only was David too fast, but the one thing I didn't think he was going to be powerful. David's punch came with him. Did you see Zuldo's face? And that wasn't no elbows. Don't say no shit. We see where the elbows landed. You know, fouls happen in boxing. It just goes to show you that there are certain men in the sport that can do these kind of things. And
Yeah, like in the way with the headbutt. Yep, we got it.
listen, look, there you go. I thought we can get through an episode being cool, but I guess we can't. And we just can't. We can't frontline. But anyway, listen, I'm just saying that we've had a lot of good matches this year. What has been the standout match for you? So far, you know, out of all the fights that have kicked off 2026, you know, what fight for you was the most entertaining? What fight for you was the best fight that you saw so far in 2006, 26? And I just want to know, you know, there was some interesting fights, to say the least, some big knockouts. But we have a lot more boxing to come, don't we? And you know, I can't wait for this Xander and Jerron Boots Ennis fight to come. But you know, at the same time, you know, boxing feels the void. I think as we get to the Xander, we're gonna get a lot more breaking news from Zuffa. I think there are gonna be a lot more announcements from what I'm hearing behind the scenes. A lot of people are talking about this. And let me just say this real quick about Zuffa before I have you read the chat and we talk about some of these things. That a lot of people were saying that Zuffa was done, that their money was going to get cut off, that Turkey and all this other stuff, but that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing them continuously sign a lot of big fighters. So they're definitely playing like they're an entity that's in boxing that's here to stay. Whether their longevity lasts, whether their belt ever becomes that of a significant world championship, I'm not sure. The PBC had their belt as well, and that never made it. So I've seen this before. So before you ring the alarm and officially stamp them, all I'm asking you guys is allow them to prove themselves. Allow them to prove themselves in boxing, and don't let them pull the 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 wool over your head. You understand? So frontline, read these chats and let's talk about boxing here.
So we got Thomas says that was the voluntary knee from Du Bois was genius. TJR says a lot of good boxing movies. Pug, shout out to Pug, Norfolk's own. That's why he's talking reckless. Point two, not a weight problem. Ha ha. That's a haircut. Albright getting stopped. 147 sooner than later. Pistol Pete looked like Buster Rhymes and Slim Shady's son. He getting stopped too. Yo, Jose said it's crazy. It, it's crazy because I thought Du Bois was going to quit after that second knockdown.
Yeah.
Pug says everybody's sleeping on this Jan Santana Chacon fight. John not a true minus 15 favorite, 1,500 favorite. Chacon trains with Navarrete. We got a firefight at featherweight tomorrow. Yes, we do. We're gonna
Yes,
get
we
into the
do.
fights. We're gonna get into the fights right after I finish up the chat.
All right.
Puck says, let the narrative be Keyshawn having weight issues. 147 on notice after tomorrow. TKO. Jose says, I think the elbows landed, but Surdo was getting KO'd anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Bulbos in the building. He says Dalton versus Matias, top entertainment. Pug
Okay.
says
Yeah.
he's coming around. He's coming around. Bobos is coming around little by little.
Little by little.
Keon, Pug says Keon 154 also going to create buzz after beating 10-round fighter Humane. Bobo says saludos Corillo. TJR, who Berlanga gonna fight on Sufa? We don't know yet
Not
because
yet.
Berlanga officially came out and said that he's staying at 68, and we all know Sufa doesn't have 168 weight class.
So that
So
wait. So that might mean that he's not fighting for the SUFA organization in tier one. I think they're gonna use him like Connor Ben.
on a ring card,
Yeah, like Connor Ben was represented by Sufa and promoted by Dana White, but he went and fought Regis Progress on the undercard of the Tyson Fury fight card, right? Okay. So in that sense, Zufa is also fighting fighters, but allowing them to also rock in boxing in tier two. See, that's what me and Frontline keep going back and forth. We don't understand because so far, Sufa hasn't been so transparent. They said one thing, did another. They said they were gonna not do this, they did that. So Sufa's been changing, and it's a little confusing on how the exact Sufa system works. Now, before you guys start sending me things saying that this is how it is and blah blah blah, we've been down this road. The week later, all their original rules changed. So we've been there. That's where the confusion comes out. One week they're doing this, then the next week Dana White comes out and says, "No, this is how it is." Then we're like, and then he comes out again, "No, this is how it is." That's why Jail Patai got stripped
yeah, there's a lot of unknowns.
because he was lying. Jail Patai was under the impression that the IBF took the sanctioning fees, they were going to get in. The week of the fight, they were notified that the Super Belt was also going to be there, and IBF said, hell no. So there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of manipulation to try to get the IBF in the ring with Zuffa to give Zuffa credibility. Because on that night, it's what you see. On that night, if you would have put up the winner with the Super belt and the IBF, you're saying right there that the Super belt is considered a world championship now, ain't you? Why would the champion of the world be fighting for anything less? That belt has to mean something. So the only way you would have gave that belt a spark fast, get in the ring with the IBF. When the IBF saw that, they said, hell no. We can't allow our belt in the same ring with your belt that's giving life to your belt. Do it by yourself. Go take your Sufa champion, go get your belt, and go fight and make legacy by yourself. You see what they were trying to do?
Yeah.
So,
Mio says Andy versus Murataya was a pretty good boxing match in a way, and the other Japanese talk about Nakatani maybe take the number one spot. Pug says, "Can someone please tell me why to not go for Chacon? John Santana a minus 1,500 favorite off of what? Chacon runs the pro box circuit and trains with Inoue and Navarrete."
mm,
George says Keith Colon isn't going to be on the Zayas card. Disappointed. He is fighting in June, so he'll still be active. He's actually hosting a main event in
in
Massey
Springfield,
Springfield.
I'm gonna be there.
Yes.
I'm gonna be backstage with Keith Cologne. I'm gonna have all access back there. I'm gonna be back there with him, his team, and hopefully we get some good content and I can get you guys some exclusive back there with Keith Cologne. But I'm gonna be there at that fight in Springfield. Yes. And I'm gonna be covering that.
Thomas says, I think John Santana is really good. He's a very underrated boxer with huge power. Pug says, we got our Sufa circuit. without needing Dana over at Scope. We welcome the Albrights, Mercados, Cruz, Morataya, Duarte, Matias. Hungry names, solid work fighters at the Scope. Don't need Dana. Jose says, yo, Berlanga is going to fight. He's shadow and is getting KO'd by it. Berlanga is a reggaeton artist. Can't make this shit up. Ha ha ha. Bobo says, what is Berlanga's weight class in Sufa? We don't know yet, but he publicly came out and said that he's staying at 68. So again, like Edwin said, it could be he could be on the tier two, could be fighting for probably a ring card or something. Pug says John is a great talent, but Christian Cruz Chacon is a stubborn, pressure, durable fighter who's trained with Navarrete and Inoue. Minus 1500 means John is a true blue chip and Chacon is a scrub.
Mm.
Berlanga should have took the Resendez fight. He said he went with Sufa to get the Shiraz rematch. Let's see how it plays out for him, says
Hey,
George.
hey, yo, hold up. I just wanted to say real quick. I've noticed. Where's all facts and his co-host?
They probably listening in somewhere.
I just want them to, hit a message chat, say salute, buddy. You guys are right over there. Have you guys checked on them dudes? You know what I'm saying? They are they good? Are they you
They
guys
they good.
you still with us, guys? You know what I'm
They good.
saying?
They didn't crash out yet. They good.
They crash out.
Nah.
They good. They good. They good. Hey, yo, all facts. Your boy is down bad right now. You know what I'm saying? All facts. Listen, you know, Jerome Buzenis' statement there is not looking too good. So, I just wanted to know what your opinion was on
Hey,
what just occurred.
real quick, Pug. In case you don't know, John Santana is from Dominican roots. He's from DR, but he currently lives in Puerto
In
Rico,
Puerto Rico.
and he trains in Monteatillo with Millo
You mean
Emiliano.
Ojo Santi,
No, Emiliano.
oh, Emiliano.
Yeah,
Okay.
they call him Millo.
Okay.
Um, Good trainer. I'm sure he's got a game plan set up for Christian. Nobody's counting Christian out. I don't know why the odds are crazy like that, but John Santana is a decent fighter. Um, Obviously he's up and coming. He's in the rankings, so we'll see. LP Goddess in the building says round uno.
What up?
Hitchens and the Sufa talent, not better than the Albrights, Duarte's, Mercados, Matias, Alan Chavez, and Cruz type of fights. We can get the scope versus Keyshawn without Dana. That's what's up, says T. Thomas. He's going to his graduation on Thursday. He's talking about Keith Cologne.
Mm,
Him and
okay.
him and remember when we had Keith on here that I said
Yep.
tell TD that he's Dominican, not Puerto Rican.
Right.
That's Thomas. That's
Oh,
what I was
okay.
talking about.
All right.
Um, okay, he just Thomas just corrected me. So no, he lives in DR but trains in Puerto Rico. Monterrey, not Montadillo. My bad. I'm thinking about the wrong. Yeah, Monterrey.
Okay. All right. Well, we got you know what I'm saying. That's what we got the chat for. You know what I'm saying. We keep each other honest and sharp around here. That's what I like.
Montadillo, Monterrey.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
We got real boxing fans in here that be like, yo, if you know what I mean, you done said something, they back you up. See what I'm
nah.
saying? That's
They
round one
correct
sports show
me.
family. That's family right there. See what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
real shit.
they know what it is. I
It's real
talk my
shit.
shit.
Real shit. No, it's not about talking shit, but it's
No,
also
I'm
about
saying I talk my shit and they check me
it's
when I
it's
fuck up.
it's proven that there's real boxing fans that tune in here and know their shit as well. You
They
know what
tune
I'm
in for that
saying?
Sufa belt. That's why they tune in.
That's
They
what they
like that.
tune in for, the
They
super
want that
belt.
Sufa belt up there.
Yo, I'm not sure, bro. We're gonna have to have the first Super World Champion. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Fighting a Walmart parking lot.
nah,
You know
C
what I'm
Town.
saying?
It's got to be a C
It's
Town.
got to be a C town.
Nah, you know what? No. That's too high. It's got to be a Save a Lot. Save a Lot. Save a Lot.
Listen, you gotta start small. We're gonna start at Family Dollar. Family Dollar, and work
And
our way up to Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
got
the
you.
big, you know what I mean? You gotta first, put the carriages around in a circle, and we'll have stock chases and bull riders fighting for the belt and shit. That's what
Nah, see, you know what
that's
the
what we'll
problem is?
do.
Stock chaser, take the belt and just haul off without
He'll
paying.
steal the
Like the
hubcap
yeah, he'll
without
still
making.
he
Oh
like
yeah,
hubcaps.
that's right. That's right. He might do that. So I don't know. We're gonna have to get Bull Rider. You know what I'm saying? In here, we might have to get him against George. You know what I'm saying? We never know. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. One thing we know for sure: you will be fighting a tomato can, whoever he is, and it will be sponsored by Campbell Soup. You know what I'm saying? Real hubcap around here. Listen. Hey yo, that belt makes Front Lights day. I swear it does. It really does. It makes his day. He gets all giggly. Yo, listen,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to make that. Well, it didn't really take me a long time. It
It
took me
took
a
you a
long
long time
time.
to find the hubcap.
The hub, yeah, that's what took a long time. Once I got that hubcap, I was like, let's go. I put that shit together.
Yo, can I ask you a question? How's the other? I'm not gonna spoil it for the people.
Nah,
But
I haven't.
how's the other belt coming along?
It's not coming along too well right now
Eh,
because I kind of lost a little traction on it, but I'm gonna get it coming. I'm gonna get working back on that project. Yeah,
All right,
absolutely,
bet.
absolutely.
So, yo, let's get into this card. We're starting off with Derek Crocklem
Yep,
and Eric Howard. Derek is 6-0, three knockouts. Um, he's from Tacoma, Washington.
yep.
21 years old, up and coming fighter, and he is fighting Eric Howard, who's 7-4, 7 wins, 4 losses. Two of those 7 wins by knockout. One of those 4 losses, he got knocked out. He is from Lutz, Florida. He is 36 years old. How do you see that fight going?
I don't really know too much about either of them, but
Me either.
what I'm gonna say is, may the best man win. But I got the other guy.
You got that guy? Got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we got Keon Davis, who is
Right.
4-0 with three
Yep.
knockouts.
Right.
And he's fighting Edwin Humane Jr.
I was laughing about this, right? Because I was like, Edwin, you know what I'm saying? Like close enough, you know. So I have no idea who that is. But the fact that Keyshawn Davis's brother, and he's the one that's undefeated currently. The other one lost to the Albright, right?
Yep,
So, with a 4-0 record, and a family name, I guess the pressure is on him. You know,
yep.
um, I'm gonna rock with the Davis, the American. I'm gonna go with him. So I'm gonna pick him. It's not like I know so much, and he's let's see what happens. But I got him in the fight. Yes.
Then we got Jan Santana, 16-0, 13 knockouts, 26 years old, fighting out of La Romana Dominican Republic. And he is fighting Christian Cruz Chacon, 24 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 12 of those 24 wins by knockout.
Well, look, the stage is set for this Dominican fighter. It's no secret. Dominican, Republic needs a hero. They need a champion. You know, um, fucking Carlos Adames ain't gonna be doing this, for long type shit. They need fighters to step up. And Rohan Polanco's about to go out to fucking Puerto Rico. I heard Maya Wed. That's gonna be fun, right? Yo, stay away from the women. Trust me. Anyway, let's trust me. Trust me. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, um, they need that guy. So I'm gonna take him. The night is set for him to win. My man got 7 losses. He's a good fighter, though. I've heard everything in the chat. Everybody was saying,
And then my
and
Mexican
and,
people in the
and I
chat,
can
we
agree.
taking.
I can agree because I know of that. Yeah,
Hold
he
up, 'cause I
has.
gotta put this out there,
Go
Edwin.
ahead.
I gotta put it out there. We taking John Santana because he trains in Puerto Rico, so he one of ours. So Mexico, get ready. Y'all gonna be down bad.
Okay, so hey, we gonna stamp him.
We
We
stamping them.
we stamping them.
We
According to
stamping them.
Frontline, here we go again. You guys know how my biased co-host is, how he gets, right? He drags me into this shit, right? And he gets me, and then all of a sudden, Brian Norman Jr. goes out there and starches homeboy,
Are
and
you
he
talking
makes
about
it.
Derek Cuevas? No,
Stop,
no, 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 no.
I didn't want to bring it up. You know exactly what we talking about.
Yeah,
See,
of course I know who we're talking
that's
about.
what Frontline does to me. That's what he does, right? So okay, we'll take him and we'll take him. We'll take him. We'll take
No,
him.
I'm
We'll go
taking John
against
Santana. He
Mexico.
trains in Puerto Rico. I gotta
We'll
go with
take
my
him.
guy, my
We'll take
Latino.
him. We'll take him.
I'm not knocking the crews there, but I'm taking him. John
All
reps
right.
DR, but he also reps PR. Also, he carries both flags with him in the ring. He is
Yeah.
very disciplined. He is married with kids, so we don't have to worry about him much in the clubs. LOL. John has a
Mm.
good team also. He is managed by a really good friend of mine who is Puerto Rican from the Bronx, Ricardo Figueroa. El Gran Ricardo. LP Goddess says, you got the perfect Christmas gift for Frontline.
Eh,
She's talking about the Super belt.
the Suva
The
belt.
the only belt that matters is the BTA. Whoever the best at the BTA will be the one where all those belts fall, regardless if it's gold, silver, or a hubcats. That's Pug. Jose says Mayagüe. Ya tú sabes, Jose.
Ya tú
Rohan va pa
sabes.
Mayagüe.
And look at the Adam's apple, and the size of the hands. That's all
Eh,
I'm saying.
it looked good for DR about a year ago, but they down bad right now. Let's see what
Mm-mm.
else we got. What else we got on this card? We got I talked about John Calvin Davis. This is gonna be I think this is gonna be the show, the fight, might be the fight of the night. Calvin Johnson and Peter Dobson. Pistol Pete. So
I think Pistol Pete might be a little seasoned, more seasoned, I guess, than Calvin Davis is here. I mean, Calvin.
17 wins, 3 losses, 10 of those 17 wins by knockout. Calvin is 15 wins, 1 loss, 8 of those 15 wins are by knockout. So on paper, it's a pretty even fight.
Well, check it out, right? I can't tell you where his first 10 fights occurred. They weren't
Who's?
Ted Davis, they weren't televised.
No.
Okay, so who the fuck did he fight?
I
Like,
could tell you if you want to know.
I mean, like, really, like, I think some of these guys or these names are like, you ever hear of a padded record? Like,
All right, so
unfortunately,
listen, his first fight was against somebody who debuted as well,
right.
Michael Honesto. He knocked him out in the second round. His second fight, he fought a fighter who was 8 wins, 2 losses. He won by unanimous decision by the name of Jan Marsalik. Then he went on and fought somebody who quit on him. That was 1 win, 3 losses, 1 draw. Ryan Schwartzberg.
Yeah, we've never heard of that guy since.
Exactly. Then he fought a guy by the name of Philip Carmouche, who was 2 wins, 2 losses. He knocked him out in the first round. Thomas Ornelas, 3 wins, 1 loss, TKO second round. Sebastian Gabriel Chavez, 5 wins, 4 losses. He won by UD. J- Jalen Hill, who was 5 wins, no losses. He won fourth round knockout. Nelson Morales, 3 wins, 4 losses. He won by UD. Derek Whitley Jr., 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He won by KO, fourth round. Narcisco Calmona, 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He won by UD. Clarence Booth, 21 wins, 8 losses, won by UD. Mario Ezequiel Sayal Lozano, 18 wins, 12 losses, 1 draw. Second round knockout. Kevin Johnson, 12 wins, 3 losses. He won by majority. Yace Gabriel Solomon, 15 wins, 3 losses, won by UD. Jose Marufo, 15 wins, 15 losses, 2 draws. He won by fourth round knockout. Nahir Albright, we all know what happened there. Majority decision, loss, and now he's fighting Pistol Pete Dobson.
Listen, why you want to turn me into a Puerto Rican owl? Who? Like, who the hell are these guys? Right? Like, Albright is the only name we know, and it's because of his kid brother. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
hey, yo, read the super chat.
Shout out to TD Thomas. He super chat $10 says it's always a bad sign when a fighter calls for a fighter and is facing another guy in the ring. John Santana was offered the Shushu fight, but Shushu turned it down. I believe John will be world champion soon. Yo, TD, don't come talking shit about my guy Shushu because I got Shushu beaten in a way. Don't you start no shit right now because you're gonna
Yeah.
get Edwin fucking
Yo,
happy.
wait, I saw the chat. I saw the super chat. I said,
Yeah, you made
Frontline,
me
read
read that shit on purpose, you
it.
fucker. Don't start no shit
Yo,
over here, Thomas. Don't start no
yo,
shit over here.
I love you, Thomas. You're the man. You're the man, Thomas. Yo, le pico, le pico. Yo,
Yep, Jose said
hilarious.
I wasn't sure Pistol Pete Dobson had some Rican in him, but now that I know, let's go Puerto Rico. Jose, my guy. TJR says, "Yo, any classic fights y'all can recommend?" Oh my god, you're in the right
Cla-
channel.
classic fights.
Oh
Wow.
my god, shit.
They're man. Look, as far as like big moments, Mayoga versus Felix Trinidad. That was a big fight, a big moment. Mayoga played the villain role very well. Very well.
Yeah,
The
but in
build
order
up.
to understand that fight, you got to really go through like the whole process from
Yeah, but the
the
fight
shit. From
itself
the
was
fight itself
great.
was good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got Felix Trinidad versus Vargas Sr. That
Yep,
was
that
a
was a good
great,
one.
yeah, and like it was a lot of adversity. He got dropped twice in the first round, then he drops Felix in the round, and Felix, that was a back and forth real like that's a really good like fade right there. That's a good
Yo,
squabble.
Miguel Cotto Zab Judah was a fucking banger.
Okay, that's a pretty that's a that yeah, okay. It like if you want bloody fights, of course, any Manny Pacquiao trilogy with if you want some bloody fights, you can get that. If you want if you want to see a dominant performance fights you can see a good skill power with Roy Jones Jr. You can see like his highlights, some of his shit like that. Some of the fighters of today that I would recommend to watch would be by fighters like Bam Bam Rodriguez. Very action complete fighter, very complete. Of course, Naoya Inoue,
Yeah, of
him.
course. Can't miss that. That's your
Of course,
fucking
of course.
you
But
still got his pillow? You got a
stop
full
it,
pillow.
stop
You
it.
got a full
You
you got a
admitted you had one. It gave you a
it,
cut, so
it headbutted me. So in a
yeah,
way
it is
likes to
what it.
headbutt.
Yeah, right. Listen, so look, don't be butthurt because somebody done called you a fighter, shoo out. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Look, there's a lot of fights. What do you guys think? Listen, you want to watch a great heavyweight matchup, a great heavyweight fight. I'm talking a banger. Go watch Tua versus Ikabuchi. Watch that fight. That is a heavyweight fight that it was just two giant sized men that had big punches, like endure big punches. Hey, I'm telling you right now, Tua versus Ikabuchi is one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen. You know, it wasn't like a one-sided way or one guy got knocked out. It wasn't like one of those. I've seen a lot of great heavyweight fights. Um, it's always entertaining to see fighters like Evander Holyfield because he fights like a movie fucking boxer. He fought like a robot, kind of. Like if you made a fighter in a lab, it would be fucking Evander Holyfield. You know, he had the look, everything. He fought strong. You know, he was very exciting to watch. But that Ikabuchi fight, bro, that was fucking classic. It was kind of like during the regards of um, um, George Foreman and Ronnie Loud. That George Foreman and Ronnie Loud fight, let me tell you, that was a fucking Ronnie Loud stood up to Big George. He stood his ground like up until that point, other than losing to a Muhammad Ali, he was knocking people off their feet. George, he broke Ken Norton Jr.'s freaking jaw, his face. He smashed them. Like when I like go back and watch fights like that, they're really exciting to watch fights like that. Real competitive fights, not just like one-sided fights or the guy did halfway decent and then got knocked out. Not that kind of fight. But if you're looking for big knockouts, I would suggest, you know, go to see some of the big hitters, the heavy hitters of the game. Some of the big heavy hitters were like didn't make it to that plateau, like Julius Jackson. Julius Jackson was a knockout artist. I don't care what his record says. You know, when he lost it, he won the belt quickly, lost it, lost to the dude twice. You know, I get it. But, and then he was a knockout artist, men like that. And then you got, which I consider one of the best fighters to ever do it, was James Toney. James Toney was a remarkable fighter. He came from lower weight divisions, man. All the fucking around in the heavyweight, bro. James Toney was a real gifted fighter that was too much street. You know, he was too much street, unfortunate, but he was great to watch. He was great to watch. He didn't look good against Roy Jones Jr. He got starts, but he was an amazing fighter. And if you're just thinking about like, you know, you want to sit back and watch a great fight, always classic fights, are the greatest ones. One I would recommend, but don't like to recommend, of course, would be fucking Sergio there, fucking beating up my boy.
No, 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 no. Don't even.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just a bad, but it was a great, crazy night. Um,
The second
this,
fight, you mean?
nah, the first one, man. It's just, look, Jesus Christ, great fights. Like, um, I'm trying to think of a fight that like took me out of my seat, where I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, some of
Oh, I
those
could tell you the
fights.
fight:
But
Roman Caldenas versus
shut.
Naoya Inoue. That took him out his seat. He almost flew into the ring. He threw the smoke bombs like ninjas. He got to he got to the corner.
See, Frontline always got jokes. He got jokes. Yo, listen. Yo, check it out, right? If you know, you know. But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by this guy, all right? Right. Nah, you know, archive fights, man. There are some rarely big fights that happen in small countries like the Philippines, China, Japan. There was some real little dude fights that I'm not sure you would be know their name, but
Corrales versus Castillo.
there was some blood fest, man. Some real blood fest,
That's a
bro.
banger.
Um,
Corrales versus Castillo. What do you think about that fight?
wow, that's one of the best comebacks in a fight because I had to admit that I would have gave up on Diego Corrales if I was his corner. I think I would have threw in the towel. I saw his eye was closed. I saw he just got knocked down twice, like repeated his mouthpiece came out. He goes walking back to the corner. He washes his gum shield, puts it in his mouth, and he tells him, "Hey, kid, you better do something." The fact that he snuck in that check hook and hurt Castiles like that, it was just like it was a moment where you actually heard the Rocky music come on in the back of your head when you saw that shit going down. It was so shocking to see the way he just boom, and you saw his eyes roll back, and you're like, no. And you were feeling like you were seeing the end of Diego Corrales. Like, man, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting clear, he's not looking good, man. That was just such a great comeback fight story right there. When you think you're down and out, never give up. But it's tough because, and then you got situations that go wrong. Subriel Matias and Mad Match Dervicek, they were saying they needed to stop the fight. Mad Max didn't want to stop. Had he gone too far in the fact of the fight, the point of no return, and no matter if they stopped the fight, the outcome would have been the same, we'll never know. But some of these fighters, man, it's a real thin line, but when you see it happen, boy, does that bring you out of your seat, man. That was something I was like, wow, like, Diego, I had you counted out. I was over here, yo, throw in the towel, bro.
Had that
And
been a modern fight, the ref would have been stopped that
he
fight.
would have stopped it. You know what I mean? They would
A
have
modern day
dived in.
fight, yeah, it would have been stopped.
That shit would have been stopped. Too much blood for them. You know what I'm saying? These referees are acting like they see a drop of blood. Oh no. Nah. He's staggered. Like, because a ref's job is hard. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Meaning, if the referee steps in to save the guy because he's too tough for himself, ref, you stop the fight too early. If he doesn't stop the fight and lets the guy go out in his shield and the guy falls in a coma, ref, why didn't you get in there? Why didn't you step in and do your job, ref? But when the ref steps in, you stopped it too early. See, a referee's job is never, he's never going to please everyone. Sometimes some of these referees are criticized for a lot of the moments they see in real time. They don't get that instant replay. I've seen iffy moments where I was like, come on, ref, right? Yes, we've seen that. I thought the referee in the Nonito Donaire and Neil Inoue one fight was a trometido. When has you ever seen a referee jump in and bump the fighter with his belly to avoid him from finishing the guy off? Nonito was running away from Neil Inoue from that body shot. When do you decide, standing 8 count? I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? We've seen some iffy things. But do standing 8 counts, do they exist? Yes. It's up to the discretion of the referee. So, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that the referees, steps in or calls this fight. And I think the referee should have stepped in a lot sooner with Fabio Wardley. You even seen it in my shorts in my live. I said, this fight shouldn't be going on. But the ref was doing what the fans want. Ref, don't stop the fight. Now, Wardley's going to have to take 6 months vacation. His manager said he's out for the next 6 months because that beating he took, because we want to be tough. Don't stop the fight, ref. Sometimes these fighters are a little bit too tough for themselves. And if you don't see the outcome of the fight really going your way, sometimes it's, know when to hold up, know when to walk away. But there's those rare occasions, right, that H2O was winning the entire fight and Max bodied him, didn't he?
Ass up, face down.
Bro, So it's tough. It's just tough. The referee's got a big, decisions to make sometimes in real time, in real moment. He's the third
You
man in the ring.
you got a
So
decision to make. Who you got, Brian Norman Jr. or Wagner?
I got Brian Norman Jr. Yeah,
Confident?
listen, Brian Norman Jr., you didn't have to change him as a fighter. Richard Shields, all you had to do was tighten him up. That's all you got to do with Brian Norman Jr. You just got to tighten up his defense a little bit more, learn how, teach him how to set up punches, understand boxing a little bit better, the flow of the game, the human body, shit like that. To Brian Norman Jr., you already had a pretty decent fighter and a big puncher. Don't change him as a fighter, just tighten him up. And I think that Shields knows better than I that that would have been the way to go. I'm interested to see the way that Brian Norman Jr. looks, the newest version. The fact that he almost missed weight, little red flag went off, yeah, but not going to write him off. I think that Brian Norman Jr. is going to make a comeback. I think that the night is set for him to do exactly that. Okay. It would be an upset if this guy beats Brian Norman Jr. Just coming off what many people thought once upon a time, weren't you supposed to beat Devin Haney? A lot of people thought you were going to beat Devin Haney. So if you were a fighter that some people thought was going to beat Devin Haney and you lose to this guy and you left your dad and went to a new coach, and how'd that work out for you? Brian Norman Jr. cannot afford to get egg on his face. He can't. He better go in there and wipe this dude down. That's all I got to say about that. And I got him in the fight.
And the main event, Keyshawn the businessman Davis versus Nahir Albright. Woo!
No, I got Keyshawn Davis in the fight. I think that they fought once before, and when you fight a guy, you're that much more familiar with them. The thing is that I think that when there's levels to this, I think that Albright is really underrated. I think that Albright's fighting style is really underrated because of a bit of his awkwardness. But what Albright makes up for is timing, patience, waiting for that shot. With this Keyshawn next fight, he can't wait too long. Albright is going to have to let his hands go. He knows he can hurt or stun Keyshawn Davis, right? So he's going to have to believe in the fact that he's going to have to gain Keyshawn Davis's respect in the ring. Keyshawn Davis doesn't view him on his level. Could that be a mistake? Now, funny enough, Big Bro went and got Little Bro because he just beat up on Big Bro. So Keyshawn Davis, he's going to go in there and run it back with him. The first fight was a no contest. And if you ask me about the Keyshawn whole entire situation, they were up on stage. And the announcer started talking about the situation that happened in the locker rooms after the Albright and Davis fight, the older brother, that they went into his locker room and assaulted him, right? So Keyshawn Davis act like he didn't like that. He said he's not here because we fought in that locker room. He's here because he fought good against Martin, the Ghost, right? Frank the Ghost Martin. He said that's why he's here. So you can see that Keyshawn wanted to avoid the topic. He's starting to pick religion and be more silenced about the situation because he doesn't want fans to keep bringing it up. I see it differently. I say, Keyshawn Davis, own it. Own it. Say, you're damn right we fucked you up in that locker room and we about to do it again. Bro, if Keyshawn would have said that right there, that whole room would have erupted. I guarantee it. If Keyshawn would have owned it, He'd have said, "You're damn right we whooped your ass. Even the baby got some punches in. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, just fuck it. Like, just own the situation. And sometimes you're gonna have to play the villain. And then you gotta go out there and back it up. Cause the worst thing we all know, you shit talk. When shit talk go wrong, you gonna be on one of them reels. Right? So, but I think Keyshawn shying away from it. One thing, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, in fact, just in case, like, I don't know if there's a gag order, if there's court still going on behind that. If Keyshawn was told by his attorney not to talk about it, there could be some things like that still going on. Damn, that was fairly a long time ago. I thought that would be resolved by now, right? So maybe, I don't know. Or maybe Keyshawn just didn't really want to confront the demons of his past. You know, he's going to learn in life. Confront your fears. It's not good to run from shit. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that Keyshawn should just, he should face everything head on. You
All
know,
right.
he's
Well, I
getting,
got
yep.
Albright as the upset of the night.
You do.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I like Keyshawn. Great fighter, great skills. I just think that he's undisciplined and unfocused. And I think that's, I mean, he was like that with Jermaine Ortiz, and he put, belt to ass on Jermaine. So, it's hard to say, but Albright is usually focused. He made weight. He's disciplined.
Before you go any further,
Yeah.
interesting point. So I'm just going to rewind your little sentence. Tell me, you think Albright beats Jermaine Ortiz?
No,
Okay, then.
but Edwin, you're using the triangle theory. We don't
I'm
do
not
that here.
using it. Listen. Don't try to get away
St-
with like these.
styles
No,
styles makes
stop. That
fights.
has been an scapegoat for half of you boxing fans. You can't use a triangle theory, motherfucker. Then what are we supposed to use as a measuring stick? Your last fights. Well, Keyshawn Davis fought Jermaine Ortiz last.
Right.
That's the last bit of information I just asked you. Do you think Albright beats Jermaine Ortiz? In the sense that when you're thinking about Albright pulling the upset on Keyshawn, and he just rocked Jermaine Ortiz.
Okay, but at the time,
So look, you're not getting away with this triangle theory shit. Okay, triangle theory sometimes 3, 4, 5 fights ago. Okay,
but that's why I said,
it
listen,
won't work then.
Albright
It
already
won't work
lost to
then.
Ortiz though. Albright already lost to Ortiz in a unanimous decision.
Oh, hey,
But that doesn't mean shit. Cambosos beat Tio. You even said it. If Tio fights Cambosos 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, Tio
Teal
would
beats
win.
him. Yeah,
Okay.
right. But different situation though. You're talking about an upset. You're talking
Yes.
about Albright beating Keyshawn, and I said, why? Tell us,
So
how does
so
Albright beat this version of Keyshawn? Go ahead.
the same way he beat his brother. Stick and move, stick and move.
Two different fighters. Come on, man.
It doesn't matter.
Keyshawn's way better than his brother.
Yes, he is. A
All
hundred
right,
percent better.
so you can't use a triangle theory according to you.
No,
You see,
no.
Frontline, you almost
But
said something.
so
Almost said something,
so
Frontline.
are you saying that Keyshawn's
What?
better than Frank the Ghost Martin?
Yeah. Of course,
That's
Keyshawn's better than Frank the Ghost Martin.
okay. So that being said, Albright went to a draw, which you and I don't know. I don't. I know we watched
What
it
was the
live and we
phrase?
talked about it.
What was the phrase they used the other day? He went life and death. With
But no, my point is I don't I don't remember. He came in on weight with Jermaine Ortiz, and that was at a lower weight class
no, that
at
was at
at
no,
one
that was
forty.
at 40.
Yeah, at
Jermaine
40.
fights at 40, 140.
Right. But what are these people fighting at? 40? They're fighting at 40 or they're fighting at
Yeah,
40?
they're fighting at 40. He
Okay,
came in 140.2.
you're right. I'm sorry. I'm getting it confused with Brian Norman. My bad.
Okay.
Okay, so 140, right? He came
Yep.
in on weight with Jermaine. And now is he taking Albright lightly?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think he's taking him lightly. I think Keyshawn's feeling the pressure of the boxing world, social media, everything.
I think he's feeling the pressure of
He
home
listen,
field
listen,
advantage
listen.
too.
No, no, that's there it is. There it is. Right? Um, he owes one to Norfolk, Virginia. The last time those people bought tickets and came out to see him, you know, it didn't work out so good, right? Like, so I think that
And then he's gonna do the same shit the second time fighting at home.
no, no, no.
I mean, he may
Against
wait this time,
okay,
but
listen. Talk about rewriting your story, right? And getting an opportunity that most of us in life never get. The same night, you got it's like playing Clue. You got Norfolk, Virginia, Keyshawn Davis with Albright with a boxing glove for the win. You see what I'm saying? Look, it's the stage is set for Keyshawn to rewrite his ways, to get the city to believe in him again. Go out there, make weight, perform well. This would have been a smack in the face had he missed weight to his city when he's asking them to believe in him and come out to support him. We gave you the key to the city, and 2 days ago, 2 days later, or not even 2 days, like less than 48 hours later, you were brought up in charges in the same city? After we gave you the key to the city, had you up there with the mayor, we had a parade for you. This is how you repay us? So you mean to tell me that the stage was set for Keyshawn Davis to rewrite his story and to show the town and the people of Norfolk, Virginia, you can believe in me. And somebody said that his game plan was to miss weight. That's how you want to start off? Something was wrong here. Whether those scales were off, they made Keyshawn look bad and Brian Norman Jr., something faulty equipment or something.
I
And they
find that to be bullshit because
you know,
everybody
I
else made weight.
don't know. But what I do know is this. He couldn't leave until he corrected that. Neither him or Brian Norman Jr. They both went back, did what they needed to do, made weight. Now we got ourselves a fight. Now it's up to the performance and what they do on that night. Keyshawn Davis, that motherfucker can't fart in Norfolk, Virginia right now. If he farts, he's going to jail. These people are like they like on him. All right. Whatever situation he worked out with Albright, the brother, everything. I think he and in some of the negotiation, Albright demanded a rematch to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn had to give it to him. So Albright wants to use the star status of Keyshawn to catapult his career because Keyshawn was about to leave Albright in the rearview mirror as far as career wise in getting the next big fights. Albright said probably I'll drop the lawsuit, but give me another fight with him. Because another fight with him would have been way more the money you would have got in a lawsuit from Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, you would have got a bag of money, but you wouldn't have got the fight. You get the fight and a bag of money by running it this way. So whatever Keyshawn and him worked out, I don't know all the particulars, but I do know it got him another fight with Keyshawn, and Keyshawn didn't want this fight. It's evident. He didn't want to be here. It looks like he had to take it. And the only way that Albright would have any leverage on him was because he had charges on his brother and him. It only makes sense. So something was worked out. And here we are. So Keyshawn Davis, no, I don't believe he missed weight on purpose for a gimmick, for anything. And that doesn't help him in any way, but makes him look bad. And then you have to get your fighter to continue cutting weight later in the day. You have a schedule. You have a 36-hour window to replenish, rehydrate your fighter the proper way so that he's at the best. So your plan was to disrupt that and throw off the schedule by 3 to 4 hours. What a great plan. And to look bad at the same time and to get criticism. How does that sell tickets? It's probably going to discourage fans. Look, he hasn't changed. Look, he's up to his old shit. You didn't want that. So look, fight fans, look, thank you for tuning in here at Round One Sports TV. I hope we all talked and I made it interesting for you. Shout out to my co-host Frontline. He's always up here coming in, helping out. And thank you to everybody that put your comments in the chats. And we were able to talk boxing here, and we saw a pretty big upset today. Well, I think it's good enough for an upset. Yes, I would say that.
Good enough for me.
It's good enough for me. I think a lot of people had Karen in this fight, a lot, and they were sold on the fact that Karen was that fighter from who? The one and only Phenom, Jaron Boots Ennis. So have at it, ladies and gentlemen. This really doesn't actually take away from Jaron Boots Ennis. No, it doesn't. As far as the fight with Xander, no, it doesn't. They still got to go in there and settle their differences, right? And on that night, we made the best man win. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in here at Round One Sports TV. Don't forget to give these videos a like, subscribe to the channel, and like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been amazing. Peace. And I'll leave you, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. Hold on.
Things like blood flow.
Peptides, you got that peptides.
Yo.
Doing shit.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Listen, his laugh is crazy. That laugh is crazy. You know the show.
Blood flow.
The laugh is crazy.
Peptides, you got that peptides, keep me on your side.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, the show has been fired today, gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in.
Right now. He probably at a wine and cheese party.
Damn, there's some good ass cheese.
They don't tell him how good the cheese is, he'll be mad.
How come you didn't tell me how good the cheese was? Motherfucker. Good ass cheese, man. What you looking at? I was surprised you ain't flipping, motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.
Hey, yo, good night.